Welcome back to Blue Collar Speed and Repair, where we don't really know what we're doing and you guys watch it anyway. We're nearing the end of our 59 Apache project. It's getting really close. I've been driving it and having a lot of fun with it. This video, I think we're going to try to button up the interior. It's one of the last major projects, and I'm excited to see what it looks like. So I've been driving our 59 Apache project around. I put a few hundred miles on it, and it's going pretty well. There's a few bugs we need to work out still, but main issue is there is zero insulation, zero sound deadening, anything in this cab at all. And we're in a bit of a heat wave, and it is hot inside, extremely hot. There's nothing on the firewall for engine heat, and then remember our exhaust runs right under each floorboard, so it's literally sitting in an oven, especially in any kind of traffic. Driving down the road, it's not too bad, but if you sit for very long, it gets warm really quick. So we got some of the sound deadening / heat stuff from Vevor. I never know how to pronounce this stuff. It's the same idea as like a Dynamat. This is, I believe this one, 1.3 millimeters thick, and there's 52 square feet, which we're not going to need that much for our cab, obviously, but you remember how much this was?
It was like 50 bucks.
Yeah, it was like 50 bucks or something. It was super cheap, and it should work well for what we need. Other than that, we have insulation backing for our carpet, and carpet itself. Of course, we're gonna have to do all custom because we have a trans tunnel and all that stuff that we built. A normal carpet kit's not going to fit, as well as some vinyl and some edge banding stuff for our carpet. Vinyl, carpet, insulation, and the banding stuff all came from an online company called Your Auto Trim. Just randomly found them online. They were super easy to work with and deal with, and it was super cheap. It was like 130 bucks, 140 bucks for all that stuff. Obviously that doesn't count our labor, of course. Other than insulation and carpet, we have a bunch of interior stuff to do. We have visors, we have glove box, we have a mirror to do, we have dome light, we have vent, kick panel vent cables and seals, and a few other odds and ends. And I think that's where we're going to start. We're going to start with all the little stuff. Try to get that stuff knocked out. We have to drill a hole for the passenger visor because this didn't have that originally. And I'd rather not fill up our new carpet with metal shavings. So I think we start with all the little stuff, as well as I did forget to mention, I got the original firewall insulation panel. I don't know how well that's going to work. Again, we've got a non-factory column and pedals and all that. We'll see. If it fits good, we'll use it. If not, well, we'll figure that out. So
Yeah, we have to.
Yeah. You want to start with drilling a hole?
I'll watch you. I'm so afraid of going through the cab that, nope, I'm not hurting her. If you drill a hole, that's your fault, not me.
Guess I'm drilling a hole. All right, so we have provision and hole for the driver's side visor. This had a driver's side visor in it, but not a passenger side. So made a couple measurements. It's 1.5 inch hole, and just did kind of a rough template here. If we go off of this edge where it meets, that should give us an idea of where our hole needs to be. And if we flip this template over and go to this side, it doesn't have to be perfect. I thought there were marks and provisions here. There's not. So we're just going to have to kind of wing it. And if it's not perfect, that's okay. So something like that. I did also check to make sure there is room for the drill bit to go through. So I think I'm just going to kind of eyeball center here. And there is no going back now. Oh. Put this one?
No, it's the right hand, yeah.
And we're still covered up. Let's put the screws in that side and see kind of how it lines up, and then we'll go from there. Alright, put the screws in the driver's side. It's got a slight downward angle. I guess we'll try to mimic that. That just broke off.
I think it's dangerous.
Alright, I'm gonna get a pair of vice grips, see if I can get that out. We'll move back in a minute. Well, that was more of a fiasco than it needed to be. Got that out, re-drilled the hole, went the next size up on drill bit. They all seem to go in okay. The one screw doesn't match now, but that's alright. It'll be okay.
I'm sure somebody's gonna look at it and say that's one screw doesn't match.
Maybe. Now how does this go on there? I should just...
Oh Lord.
Okay. Still say that hangs down kind of funky, but maybe that's the way it's supposed to be. I don't know.
There was no visor on the visor arm when we got it, so.
Right. I mean, I'm sure we could tweak these a hair, because that don't seem right. Watch me break it now.
Please don't.
Yeah. Okay, it didn't bend very easy. Okay. I will probably be taking those off and bending those arms a little bit. All right, well, let's get the rearview mirror and see if we can mess that up too. I don't know why 9 screws were so difficult, but there we go. All right. As far as dome light goes, it's all hooked up at the other end. I believe we grounded one side's hooked to the, no, powered one side, the other side is grounded to the dome light switch. So it should just be a matter of hooking these 2 wires up. Of course, it comes with all the wire to run all the way down. We don't need all that, so. Trim this back.
Now you got some extra white and orange wire. You're getting all fancy in here. Visors and a mirror and a light.
You know, I would have left it alone and just threw some rubber floor mats down, but like I said, it was hot, like really hot. So drove this back and forth to work for a few days, and You all right over there? Drove this back and forth to work a couple days. And the last light before it becomes the highway was out the other day. And even at 6:15 in the morning, it was already getting warm. And it was backed up for a couple miles because the light was just flashing. And I sat in here and baked. I felt like a rotisserie chicken. It was so hot.
You even put the boot on to try and block out some of the heat.
Yeah. Well, it don't work. It's got to be at this end, or the wiring's bad. I don't know.
Well,
I don't remember how we hooked that up, so I'll have to look around under there and see what's going on.
I was gonna say the only way to check the wires is to cut them back off, right?
Yeah, I mean, unless this bulb's just bad, it did come with the bulb. I highly doubt it.
It was bad in that other one we got too.
I'm trying to remember how we hooked this up. Because the headlight switch should ground it, so this should have power all the time. So the orange wire should have power. And it does not. And if we turn this all the way that way, the white wire should have continuity ground, and it does not.
Unless you hook it up backwards?
That you can't hook it up backwards. It's just got to be a filament. That's just a power ground for the filament. Well, what the heck's going on here?
Did we hook it up, or did you just shove it in the dash?
I could have swore I hooked it up, but that was a while ago. All right, well, we'll deal with that later.
Hey, there is a dome light now.
And to be fair, this doesn't have any kind of door switches. It'll only work off of the headlight switch. Oh, that's what I want to do. More wiring.
You love hanging out under the dash.
Hopefully, it's just a connection issue, because I don't want to rerun all those wires all the way down and around. I believe it comes across down here.
If we have to, at least we could just like tape to this one and pull through, hopefully.
In theory, yes.
In theory.
I'll double check my connections down here. Like the ground side would just ground through the actual switch housing itself, so it may just not be making a connection. And the power side, I don't remember how we hooked that up, so we will deal with that later, because I don't really care about a dome light at this moment. All right, what else we got? Glove
It's
box?
in there and it's shiny.
Yeah.
Yes, glove box.
Glove
and
box.
vent seals
Glove box,
and cables.
vent seals, cables. Cables I don't want to worry about because they go on the outside of the carpet, so I don't want to do those yet. We'll probably do those last.
Okay.
I guess we can stick the glove box in real quick, which is literally sticking it in there, and it's got provisions for a bunch of screws around it, so there's really nothing to see there. And then what?
Put your important papers in the glove box. Where is your important
I
papers?
don't know. Not that important, I guess.
Oh, Lord.
You don't need to carry registration and all that stuff. You're just supposed to.
If law enforcement is watching this, yes, it's in the vehicle.
Yeah, it's always.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's got a tag. They can run it. And...
Okay,
Anyway.
so we're gonna put the glove box in.
Don't listen to me. I don't know what I'm talking about. All right, glove box in real quick, and then I think from there we'll yank these seats out, start cleaning, and I think we're ready to start laying this insulation stuff down.
Yay!
Glove box is in. Just a handful of screws around the edge. Yes, there's registration insurance in there. I was kidding. As well as all the paperwork that goes with this truck. So I like to keep everything together, even if it's not really important. Like the paperwork for this column is in there. The 4-link stuff, all the transmission stuff. But I like to keep that stuff around with the rig. So like for instance, this has that GM Performance serpentine belt kit on it. And in that paperwork is all the part numbers. Obviously, if you go to a parts store and say, I need a whatever water pump for a 59 Chevy pickup that's got a 74 square body motor in it, but it's also got a reverse rotation water pump because of serpentine belt, they're going to kick you out of the store because they have no idea what you're talking about. So all the part numbers for everything is usually in the paperwork, so I just like to keep all that stuff together. Makes it a little more handy. I think from here we're ready to yank these seats out, yank the seat brackets out, and start laying down that insulation stuff. I don't even know what you call it. It's not Dynamat, but it's the same.
Sound deadening.
Sound deadening. We'll call it sound deadening. All right.
We gotta clean first.
Yeah, handful of bolts. We're gonna vacuum this thing out and wipe it out real quick, and then we're ready to start putting that stuff in. All right, get a little cleaning. I think we're ready to start installing this stuff. Again, this is not very thick, 1.3 millimeters, I think, but it should work good for not only sound deadening, but some heat insulation as well. And then we're doing the backing on the carpet, I don't even know what that stuff's called, but like the insulation or whatever.
Mass backing.
Yeah, whatever she said. So this stuff goes on pretty simple. It's pretty much peel and stick. You got to peel the back off and glue it down. We've got, you want to grab that roller thing? And we'll probably need some kind of a Sharpie. I'm gonna grab that real quick. All right, trick will be kind of trimming this to fit. We don't have to cover every square inch. I'm not too concerned with that, but we want as much coverage as possible. And then we got, this is actually like a carpet seam roller. We were looking for something small and cheap. This is all Home Depot had. This will help us roll it down and make sure it sticks really good, hopefully. Like I said, trick will be kind of shaping it around stuff, but and again, it doesn't have to be perfect, and we don't need to cover every square inch, but we want as much coverage as possible. Scissors seem to be working pretty good. On the dually, we didn't use this stuff. We used like the HVAC stuff that comes on a roll. I think it was like 6 inches wide or something like that.
It's one of those DIY suggestions online.
Yeah, it actually worked pretty good. All right, something like that for the first piece, I guess.
It just took a while with 6-inch rows.
Yeah. Now it gets tricky because once it sticks down, it's going to stick down. It's all right. Should go with some roller. That shouldn't go anywhere. All right, about 500 more pieces to go. I think we're gonna go as high up here as we can get it. Probably at least to this area if we can. We have the insulation for the firewall. I believe it goes to here, give or take. And I'm not sure how that's going to work out because we've used some of the mounting holes for that, so we'll deal with that later. But I think for now we're going to try to go up to here, at least a little bit past that line, and then I think we'll skip this center section where the seat bolts down. Seat bolts here, so this part's not that big of a deal, but we'll go all the way back, and if there's enough, I'd like to do the back of the cab as well. And I don't know if we have enough carpet, but I'd like to do a panel across the back of the cab too. We'll have to see how that goes.
I should have thought ahead and just ordered extra of everything.
Yeah,
because...
we should have, but it is what it is. All right. I guess we just start cutting and piecing it in as best we can.
All right.
All right. All right. I got an update. Got all of our, what did we decide? Sound deadening in?
Yeah.
Insulation, whatever you want to call it. Says Vivor everywhere.
Sound deadening, mass backing, whatever.
Okay, you keep saying words I don't understand and I don't like it. Anyway, it's all covered. It's not 100%. It's mostly covered if you want to look at the actual floor.
I already did.
All right, we'll look at it some more.
It's so pretty.
You'll notice we kept it back from the very edge, an inch or so. I didn't want to be able to see the shiny stuff under the carpet when we get to that point, which will be next. We got done with that, started playing with the dome light wiring and realized we had no continuity to it. So thought we would tape the wires together, pull new wires through. And here's the other end of that. And there's the end that goes down to the headlight switch and fuse block. So found our problem. So now we're gonna have to probably pull this visor back out and try to fish wires through, all for a stupid dome light. But we're gonna mess with that tonight, and it's already getting kind of late, and we'll start carpet first thing in the morning.
Sounds like fun.
Sounds like fun.
Mm-hmm.
See you in the morning. Good morning. I don't remember exactly where we left off last night, but the sound deadening's all in, turned out pretty good. The roller deal that we got, we ended up not using really, just push it in place by hand. The stuff's thin enough, and it doesn't peel up at all. I think it's gonna be just fine. Dome light. We weren't able to get the wire fished up over the top. It was tight clearances. We were able to fish it down underneath, so we'll just run it under the carpet. It's going to be under the carpet, and we wired it into the hot wire for the dome and then the ground through the headlight switch. So now we have dome light. Again, this doesn't have any door switches at all. I mean, I guess we could probably add some of it if we really wanted to, but I'm not too concerned with it. The dome light will only work on the actual headlight switch, as well as there's no under dash lighting, which could be handy. Again, easy enough to add later if that's what we wanted to do. Just tie into those power and ground wires, and they'll come on with the switch or door switches or whatever we want to do.
Oh, those are called courtesy lights, right?
Yeah. Sure, something like that.
Some.
As far as carpet, so originally I planned on making this in separate panels. So I was going to do one panel over the trans tunnel, and then a panel across the back, and then a panel on each floorboard. Because I don't know how well it's going to tuck into the sharp corners we did for the tunnel. The carpet that we got is called Flex Form. So I think we're going to take the shifter out and try to lay it in here and see if it'll actually kind of form to a shape. I think over time it'll kind of settle. I just don't know about, essentially it's this wide in the back, but in the front when it goes over the tunnel it becomes longer, if that makes any kind of sense. We need more material in the front, and I just don't want it bunching up all over the place is what I'm getting at. So I think we'll set it in here and just see what happens, I guess. Let me yank the shifter out real quick so we have some room to work. So my big concern is whether or not it's going to form around trans tunnel, like I said. And look right everywhere else. That's what I was worried about. It's going to bunch up like that. But there are going to be seats there, so does it really matter that much?
It just needs to not bunch up to this, where your hand is right there.
The other thing is that backing stuff that we got is not going to flex like this does. So, what does that mean?
Well, you're never going to see it, so you can cut that into pieces and glue it in.
I understand, but I don't know about this part here.
Yeah.
So, like, that's what I was trying to get away from, is this. So originally, like I said, is if we cut this piece, you know, just a couple inches on each side, glued that down, and then made a panel on each side, which is why we got the edge banding. Thoughts? Do we separate it all out?
I think we're going to have to do it right. All right. The other way sounded easier. It's just not going to look as good, I don't think.
Okay.
We're just going to have to be conservative with the fabric.
All right.
Or the carpet.
This way fits side to side with a little extra to spare, right?
Yeah.
There should be, grab a tape measure. At the front, we're going to need 8 inches wide by 5, so 18. If we have a couple inches to spare, 22. We have 22 inches of extra back here?
Probably. No?
No. I was planning on a couple inches of overlap, but this is about right at 20 inches extra. So I think if we cut 20 inches off the back, we should be able to make this just work. And then we'll have to figure out the backing stuff. So let's cut 20 inches off the back. We'll lay it in over the tunnel and see if we can kind of shape it. And then we'll figure out the foam stuff for that, or the backing stuff for that. That's all going to kind of have to be pieced in and glued in, I think. I don't know if it would be easier to glue that stuff, just glue it to the floor, or glue it to the back of the carpet.
I think my thought was to glue it to the floor and then glue the carpet to it.
This is going to be a one and done because it's so weird shaped and these edges, we plan on gluing it down. So it's not like we can take it out and reshape it, really. we're gonna have to have it right before we put it in. So let's try cutting this 20 inches off the back.
Okay.
And hopefully it works out. And if it don't, I guess we're doing something different. I don't know.
We get no carpet under the seats.
Yeah. I wanted to do the whole floor, but how? So we went to Hobby Lobby this morning because we just got enough for the floor, not the back. And we got some felt stuff that's similar. How similar is it? Is it a lot thinner?
Significantly thinner.
Yeah, that would clash. I was thinking about using this for the tonal.
But we could use that for under the seat.
Yeah, but you're going to see it at the edges.
Yeah, and we're trying to block heat.
Yeah. All right. Let's cut 20 inches off the back. We'll start there. And hopefully we have enough to get to where we want to get to. Now it's going to be a snug fit. All these angles.
We can
It also doesn't quite. It's going to be tight, but the other problem is once we get the backing on here, it's going to be that much worse, I guess. It's going to be what it's going to be. I mean, again, this has never been perfect. Never really the plan. So, to be perfect.
We don't make show vehicles? We don't make show vehicles?
No.
Oh.
All right, let's do the insulation stuff.
Make sure to keep that one spot on top since it's a little lighter.
I think we're going to kind of do like we did with the sound deadening stuff. We're just going to kind of cut that stuff to semi shape, glue it in real quick, and then we'll try laying that carpet back over it again. All right, got our first piece cut. Again, we're going to do it kind of similar to this, but I think we're going to do it a little more sparse. Probably just the bottom panels. I don't know if we're going to worry about the sides as much. I mean, we could do a strip down each side. It doesn't really matter, but I'm not worried about as much coverage as we did on the rest of it. I do need to cut out for shifter though. And this stuff is not going to cut very well. Best way to do this. That way. We can go back and clean it up with the razor blade probably. Or ignore it.
I mean, we were cutting this aluminum or this metal tar stuff yesterday with razor knives. We should probably switch blades out.
Yeah, probably. Okay. So now, Gorilla Glue spray adhesive multi-purpose. Trying to make a sticky mess. What's it say? Should be clean and free of dirt. Yeah, probably. Shake well. Spray both surfaces. Allow to dry to tack approximately 1 minute. Okay.
So if you spray the top side, we should be able to slide it over. You should be able to spray the bottom, and we should be able to flip it back in place.
Sure.
Or that.
I don't know what you're saying.
I meant you could have sprayed it where it was. We're about to ruin clothes today, aren't we?
Probably. I'm in the wrong position here. Looks tacky already.
You were so impatient.
Well, it also says for a repositionable or something. Alright, let's do that a bunch more times.
Well, hopefully we'll be able to do a strip for each side.
Yeah, I think we'll just kind of do that shape on either side, and it'll be good enough. We'll try to tuck this guy down in this corner. Ish. We'll have to tie the rest of it, the extra up. Alright, let's do it.
The lid's stuck to your pants already?
This is going to be a good day.
Alright, let's get cutting.
Well, the other thing is, we don't really need to go over the humps like we did before. So really, we only need the panels, which is what I was saying to start with, right?
Mm-hmm.
So basically, we're doing this completely wrong.
Okay, well, we're just gluing these in place anyways, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
No plan, as per usual. Zero planning went into this.
Is that threads right there? Right, or out there.
I think that's the screw I took out of up there.
Mm.
All right. This is going to be fun to shape
I can tell.
because it's narrower up here than it is back here.
You got a marker and some scissors
I
that
know.
says we can figure this out.
I know. You have the marker.
Mm-hmm. Now you did.
All right, let's put this outside for now. All right, are we doing a continuous piece
No, I think we should cut it on either side of the
and
hump
just
because
do
the seat.
panels?
Yeah, because the seat's gonna mount there.
Okay, how high up do we want to go? I'm thinking like that area,
Okay.
and then the same with the carpet, and then hopefully that panel will cover the rest.
All right.
So if we go call it that area, let's start with cutting this guy, this area.
Arts and crafts day.
Yeah. Now what do I do with the scissors?
I had no idea. Did you grab them?
I don't know if I did. No, where are they?
Okay.
I'm guessing we should have did rough measurements and just cut out each panel separately, really, but ain't that smart.
Well,
That goes there.
just grab that for you.
Go. Okay, I did. Grab the camera. Bring it around if you can. I did a mark. I pushed this down into the corner and did a mark there, and then that edge, and I'm gonna just connect the dots to this back edge.
We can
Because
connect the dots now.
that's how my brain's working.
Ooh.
Again, this does not have to be perfect. It will all be covered up. It doesn't really matter. We're just trying to get some insulation on top of what's already here, what we've already added, which honestly is probably enough, but we want insulation and then some backing for the carpet so it's, you know, soft and plush, you know, because we care about that sort of thing.
Hey, we have nice carpet kits in both of our vehicles. All of them, actually. Well, the van's extra nice.
The outdoor mats.
Yeah.
That actually turned out better than I thought it would.
They're extra soft. There's just no getting in there barefooted for sure.
Come on, cut.
You're almost there. Hallelujah.
That's wrong. Missed that. Come over farther. This is going to be some trial and error. I'm going to do the same thing all the way around anyway, so no reason to watch all this struggle. All right, we cut the basic shape. We have it on that side currently. We're going to use this one as a template. We'll have to add a little bit on this side, but this is the shape we're going for. Well, again, we left it back from the edge in order to keep from being able to see it under the edge of the carpet. So let's go cut another one of these. We'll leave it a couple inches wider on this side, so we'll have a template for that side. We'll have to cut around dimmer switch and pedal and that kind of stuff over there, and then from there, we just have to trim a square for here and essentially a square for back here, and then round this edge out. I don't think we're doing this across the back, just the floorboard. Again, the exhaust runs down right here on each side, and it is blazing hot, like very hot. It's hot to the touch, like you can't put your hand on it. And driving with my foot on the pedal, like I could feel the heat coming even through my boot into my heel. So mainly just trying to keep the heat out more than anything. I'm not worried about sound deadening and stuff as much, mostly just heat. So let's cut a bunch of foam with some dull scissors and glue it all in and get sticky fingers. Yay!
As long as you're excited about it.
I'm always excited. Okay, did a rough template. This is actually that side. It'll also fit this side, of course. We just got to cut out for our wiring. With the extra, we're able to do both of these panels. So I think we need to make use this as a template for one side or the other. Use this one as a template for that side, which is, again, got to go a little bit wider. We glue all this in, and then we have plenty of extra pieces. I don't know what I do with that other one.
On the back of the truck.
And we'll probably go ahead and do at least a panel down the center of each side of the tunnel, just to keep the heat off the ankle bone. And then we'll glue all the stuff in and actually move on to carpet.
Yay!
Ready?
Yep.
All right. I think we got all our insulation in, anywhere it needs to be anyway. We went a little higher on this side. That side, the driver's side, obviously has a lot going on, so we had to cut it back a little bit here and there around the pedal and the harness and all that. got the sides of the tunnel done. Again, that'll help keep some heat off of the, or heat out, I guess I should say. This side, I opted to cut back just a little bit. Our light's dying. So our wire harness has a kind of a channel to sit in. Before we do the carpet, I think we should try to do that firewall deal. So we know exactly where it goes, and then when we glue it in, we should be able to tuck the front just under it, I'm hoping. Okay. So I think we'll figure that out next, right after some lunch. The other problem is a lot of the attachment points for that we've used. For instance, I think the one up here in this corner is where the battery is hooked to now. So we'll have to figure that out. And then there's obviously a fuse block on that side that wasn't there originally. So I don't know if we need to just somehow pull the fuse block off and then mark holes, or if we have to cut a section out, or I don't know. We'll jump off that bridge when we come to it. So let's go have some lunch real quick. This turned out really, really good. Blinky, blinky. This turned out really, really good. I think it's going to do the job. I wish there was enough to go ahead and do across the back, but we don't have enough, so it is what it is. I think it'll be fine. Like I said, mostly it's exhaust temperature, exhaust heat that I was worried about, and this should do very well for that. I can't wait to see what it looks like with carpet in it. And door panels and a headliner.
Oh yeah.
All right. I'm hungry.
They don't know we're doing door panels.
Did we not mention it? Mm-mm. The vinyl's for door panels and headliner. If I forgot to mention that at the beginning, which I probably did because I forget. Okay.
All right.
Back in a minute.
Lunch.
We're back. I've been staring at this firewall insulation piece for a few minutes here. It should go basically, it's hard to show you, but where this break is between the toe board and the firewall, it should come down to there. We'll probably have to cut this because our trans tunnel is a little different. We'll figure that out. The other issue is the pedals used to go through the floor. Now they're hanging and go out the firewall, as well as we move the column up. The column used to go out down here. And we have our harness over there. So hindsight, I should have ran our harness out. There's a hole up high. I should have ran it out the top of the firewall, but we didn't. I was trying to keep it away from the exhaust. And then again, our fuse block's in the way. So I think we're gonna have to cut this piece off, unbolt the fuse block, and then we're just gonna have to kind of figure out and notch it. Like, it's gonna have to be notched around where the column goes. It's gonna have to be notched over here somewhere for where our throttle cable goes. The other issue is, like, if we cut this off, that's one of the attachment points. And then the other issue is, like, that attachment point, I'm pretty sure is where we put this clamp for our harness. And then the other ones that are down low on that side, of course, we covered with the other insulation. So it's gonna be a little harder than I thought it was. Let's cut this piece off, unbolt the fuse block. I think, so if you can get in on this a little bit, this hole where the clutch hose comes in, I believe is this mounting hole here.
Nice.
So if we measure, I know it's a 2-inch column. We can find something round that's like 2.5 inches or so. Measure off where that is. We should be able to cut that out pretty easily. I don't know if we can measure over from there and cut a slit in it for our throttle cable. We're gonna have to try to pre-plan this a little bit, and hopefully with this cut off, it'll go around our brake bracket. We'll have a gap on this side, but it is what it is. That side over should be pretty easy. This part over here is gonna be pretty well customized. All right, I think we're prepped. I cut that piece out. I don't know where it went, but as well as I measured and cut That should hopefully be where the throttle cable comes through. And then I put a slit in it so we can slide down over. Same with where our clutch line comes through. The fuse block is undone. So I'm hoping we can get this in there, get at least a few of these clips in. We should be able to use a pick or something to find our holes, like for our fuse block, which is up here, and that should bolt in through this. That'll hold the top in place. The bottom, if we can reuse that, great. If not, if it's held up here, it'll probably be fine. And then from here over, we should be good. I am a little worried about there not being much of a connection here, but it is what it is. Realistically, we probably should have ran this all the way up the firewall, or took a bunch of stuff out and ran up the firewall and then reinstalled, but we're not doing all that. Probably fold it maybe? This clutch line's right in the way. Okay. Now what? Now let's twist it. I did something. I don't know what, but I did something. Now behind the fuse block, over there. This is gonna go around that kind of ish, sorta. Can you push that up in there? Kind of sort of lines up with the throttle. Oh shucks. Now what?
Now we gotta find all the holes.
Yeah.
And decide if that middle part can stay.
Yeah, what did I do with that one clip? Right there. Let me see if I can get this one in. I don't know why the holes for these are so tiny, but something tells me we should have made these bigger first. Oh yeah, yeah. Huh. Well. Now what?
It's in there.
Yeah. All right. Do you notice how small, like that hole is, and that's got to go in it?
Yeah, it looks like it's totally gonna be easy.
Yep. All right. Might do the punch and heat trick just to auger that hole out, and so we can get at least some of these in there.
Okay.
So we've made an executive decision, and these clips were not working out. I went the next size up on the step bit, and then it was too big, and this just fell out. So we opted to just do a nut and a bolt. Yes, I tried rib nut. No, it didn't work. I wish it did, but we also did go ahead and decide to cut this off flat. She cut it, so it's crooked, extra crooked. I don't know why. I'm sure it's because the aftermarket panel, but if you look on that side, it bunches up a bit, which, you know, it's not the end of the world. It is whatever. It is what it is. But so we have 4 bolts on that side. This side, up top here, there's 1 bolt hole. The bolt hole, or excuse me, hole for the clip would normally be, again, where the clutch goes in, so we can't put one there. So we're going to do the one there, and I think this side, all it's getting is where towards,
Fuse block?
yeah, where the fuse block is bolted in. I'm gonna have to try to hold it into place and then have her stick a pick through the other side of the, where we did do the rib nuts. And then we'll stick, excuse me, we'll stick the bolts through the fuse block, and the fuse block will hold this side. This side's probably gonna have to dangle a little bit just because of the harness and all that. We can try to put a bolt, a longer bolt in under, like we talked about, under where the harness is, but I'm a little concerned with the harness rubbing on the bolt there. We did do some loom there, so it'll probably be fine. All right, let's get that bolt in so we can get this fuse block thing in. I really, really want to get carpet in this thing. And this is becoming a headache. This stuff all went well. That we should have not done that. We should have run everything up and just ran the carpet up the firewall and been done with it. But here we are. So, yeah.
This will plug holes and keep the heat off the firewall, hopefully.
Yeah, well, the other way would have too. But.
Well.
All right.
On my side.
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah. Let's do that bolt hole, or that, where that clip should be, and do a bolt there, and then we'll kind of figure out this side.
All right.
Okay? Okay. Got our firewall insulation piece all in. It is a little funky. Hopefully that'll settle in with some heat. This side over here, I don't know where the light went, but...
Got you. Here. You tossed it to me with everything else.
I opted, this was the original hole up here. I don't know how well you can see this here.
Oh.
This was the original hole. We just made our own hole and just tucked it around our wire harness. So wire harness is up here out of the way. And then once we tuck the carpet underneath this lip, which is the plan, it should be fine. It like I said, once it gets a little bit of heat, it should be fine. And then the upper part's bolted in with the fuse block. And then, you know, we got one up high over here and then 4 on that side. Should be plenty to hold this in. Again, hindsight, maybe we shouldn't have done that. Maybe we should have done something different, but that is the way it is sometimes. So we'll just keep pushing along.
Somebody really, really, really wants carpet in here today.
Yeah. Which we were talking about. And I think what we're going to try to do, this original piece that we put in, is a little narrower than I'd like it to be. And I don't remember which side was wider now. This side. It just barely reaches our corners. Just barely reaches there and this side. I was hoping to have a little bit of overlap like it does back here. Hoping we can stretch it and all that. And I think we're going to start with that piece. We'll start gluing the center down and then pull tight and glue it down. We'll have to make sure the glue is actually tacky this time. And get that one in place. And I think this piece we're going to lay over the top of everything and kind of shape it to fit. And we'll show you that as we go. I think that's the plan. I was thinking about doing like 3 pieces and have them overlap and all that, and I don't think it's going to work out. So I think we're just going to do one tunnel piece and then basically a big horseshoe for the rest of it. Yeah?
Sounds like a plan, man.
All right, let's get the glue and see if we can get this one glued in. We can get the shifter back in, get this all tightened back up.
Do we run the wires over or under?
It's going to be under.
Okay.
It's going to be under. I guess we need to figure out, cut out for holes for our shift boot too.
Yeah, because you got those two. Burn.
Okay. You're so strange. All right.
You married me. What does that say for you? I don't need to not stick this side to anything.
So just past there, and then if you can grab there,
Okay.
pull. You down to the edge?
Yeah, down past the edge, just
Good.
a hair.
So am I. Okay. Still got a wrinkle. Let go.
Okay. I'm just trying to hold past the wrinkle so you can pull.
Should have went a little higher. I'll have to do. All right. Hopefully this works out smooth. This back here doesn't matter as much. We started laying this out. We're going to start at one edge and figure out exactly where our edges are going to be. But we decided to do the back first, kind of like the trans-tunnel piece is going to be tucked under it. I think that piece is going to come and tuck under. So I think we're going to do that next. We went to Hobby Lobby and got kind of the same material, but it's quite a bit thinner. And I think we're just going to kind of lay this out. There's a lip here. We're going to tuck it up under the edge and just glue it in as best we can. I think we're just going as far as we went with the Dynamat stuff or the sound deadening stuff. It's not going to be perfect. I just want to cover it up. Again, we did the sound deadening. I just want to kind of clean it, make it clean looking. I don't know what it is I'm trying to do here. And then to stick that well, but let's see what happens. All right, that should work out okay. It's not perfect by any means, but remember there's going to be a seat on either side. Like you can see the wire for the dome light, but there'll be a seat in front of it. And then the bottom edge will have the carpet up to anyway. And then around the edges, we just kind of tucked it into the cab corners. You're not really going to see it. So now we'll move on to carpet, which I'm looking forward to, but not really looking forward to. As far as the carpet goes, I think we're going to cut as close as we can to the outline of like around the steps and across the back and around our trans tunnel. Probably back maybe 1/4 of an inch or so. Again, we're going to run this banding stuff around the edge to give it a nice clean look. We're going to start at one side, I think, try to cut that edge, get it matching as best as possible, and then somehow try to hold it in place while we cut around the tunnel. And again, try to hold it in place and cut this side so it all matches. Make sense? Yes, no, maybe-ish?
Sure.
And then the corners, do we want them just to waterfall over, or are we going to try to do around the...
I thought we were going to try and do the corners.
Okay. That's going to be, that curve's going to be funky though. It's going to be more difficult.
What's
new? Go for it. And it's ruined. How straight of a line do we think we can cut across that? Cheater. So if we mess up a little bit, this stuff folds around the edge and then you sew it on. So you can make a little mistake and have half inch or so of leeway. Alright, this is what we're going with. Again, trying to cut it as close to the edge as possible. And again, there's some little imperfections and all that, but that banding will go over the edge. We can clean that edge up a little bit. Goofed up on this edge just a hair, but again, once that banding's on there, it'll be okay. You know, kind of goofed it just a bit, but that's okay. So next step is try to hold this in place as best as possible, cut around the trans tunnel, and then we'll cut that side, and then I guess you're sewing. And I'm watching and drinking adult beverages.
Not that much sewing to be done.
All right, we're going to continue cutting and see if we can get this knocked out. Okay, we skipped ahead just a little bit. Got all this cut out. It was a little bit tedious, so it wasn't a lot to show. We cut a little long and kind of bring it back until it was where we liked it. So from here, we're going to go wrap this stuff around all the way around the edge. I guess we don't have to do the top edge where it's going to tuck under the firewall insulation. So
I'm already going to be there.
I mean, yeah, we bought, I think it's 30 feet, so it's not like we don't have enough, but yeah, it's coming together. It looks really, really good. We still got headliner and door panels to do, but I'm excited to get this carpet almost there. It's almost there. Still got to do something with these vents too, but all right, well, let's go watch her sew and just sit around and be lazy for a little bit.
Who's been lazy?
I didn't say anybody was. I said I'm gonna be. Good morning. Had a little trouble last night with Boss Lady sewing machine, giving us some trouble, so we ended up calling it quits. She got her other sewing machine out, and while she finishes up the banding around the edge, which is turning out okay, I'm gonna work on the vents. This is the vent that goes in the kick panel on the passenger side. I've got a new gasket for it as well as new cables. I'm not sure how this is supposed to go in there, so I guess I just got to dig this out and try to force this thing in here. I don't know. Looks like it's going to be a little bit of a pain, but swap out these gaskets, probably clean it up with a wire brush a little bit, and see about reinstalling it, getting cables in, that kind of stuff. I'm trying to be productive while she's finishing that up, as well as the light I think is in here. Before we went in last night, we did do some aerosol, just Raptor liner stuff on just the steps. Just give a little bit of grip so it's not slippery when it's wet, that kind of stuff. Just a little bit of behind the scenes stuff. So while she finishes that up, I'm gonna mess with these vents. Hopefully we'll be putting this carpet in here real soon. So I ended up just going around this thing with a screwdriver, opening it up. It was pinched between the two pieces of metal. Got the new one in and just went around with a pair of pliers, squeezed it all back together. I think that should work. It's just to block a little bit of airflow when the vent's closed. I'm gonna go reinstall this, throw the cable on, and work on the other side, then we should be putting carpet in. One custom 59 Apache carpet kit installed. I think it looks pretty dang good. Like I said, the edge banding's a little goofy, but you know, whatever. For a couple amateurs and really half a day on the carpet part, I think it looks all right. We'll probably do some, like, just some aftermarket rubber formats or whatever to keep from damaging and messing up the front section of the carpet, but I think it looks pretty good. And once we get the seats in here and back panel turned out pretty good. So I think we'll move on to headliner real quick. We decided, since there's so much of that like foil backed sound deadening stuff that we got, we're probably going to go ahead and do the ceiling. And then we're going to use vinyl wherever
It's back there.
It's very similar to the seats. It's actually very, very close. So we're going to do just a vinyl headliner. I have a new gasket for it. And have we decided if we're going to go straight to the panels, or do we know yet?
I don't think we know yet.
Okay. We're going to wrap the door panels in vinyl. We don't know if we're going to do a foam back between the two, or if we're just going to go direct and try to follow these lines. I don't know how well it's going to stretch around all that stuff, so we should have plenty of vinyl. We could try it, see how it turns out.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't turn out, then we'll do the foam back. So, I think if you want to start working on that stuff, the sound deadening stuff, I'll get these off. I'm going to clean off these corners, round them just a little bit so they don't tear through. So we don't tear up the vinyl when we do put it on.
Okay.
Alright.
Yep.
Alright, I got the door panels off. I've got the edges cleaned up and ready to go. She got all the sound deadening into the ceiling here. This is the vinyl we're using. Like I said, it closely matches the seats. And I think we're just going to glue it into place, and hopefully it stays. I'm pretty sure whatever material was up here, I don't remember, was just glued as well. And then there's like a rubber gasket that goes around that's going to be a pain in the butt to put in. But I think we're going to hose the ceiling down, glue, hose this down with glue. I did cut this a little big. And then we got a brand new razor blade. We're going to cut around the edge. Hopefully this goes well. I don't know. We're going to find out together. What?
Do we want to put something down on the carpet while we're hosing? Or are we just freestyling?
I don't know.
Okay.
I, like usual, didn't think that far ahead, so we can. I don't know what, but we can.
Where's that drop cloth you had? Behind you?
That's not very big.
Oh.
Pause for a sec. We'll throw a packing bucket down. Like that. It's twisting. Well, that's not bad though, right?
How's the front? Is that seal going to cover it?
I don't know. That's what I was asking you.
It's back further than the sound deadening.
Well, you tell me.
It should cover it, I think, maybe. It might come hold that fabric.
I have no idea what is going to happen here.
We're just playing a guessing game.
That's all we ever do. That's way too far back, so that's perfect. Shoot. I don't know. I think we need to add some glue in this corner.
Okay.
and this edge. I sure hope this rubber seal thing covers, because I'm not doing as good of a job as I'd like to be doing. And this razor blade, even though brand new, is not cutting as well as I'd like. All right.
Alright, we need a little more glue here, which is what I was getting ready to do.
Okay. So this gasket has this kind of a round area. I believe that fits in to this kind of bubble that's sticking down. So, here's the other end. I'm going to start in the middle on the back. I'm going to spray this with soapy water. Maybe. There we go. And see how much of a nightmare it is to get this stuff in here. Oh, this is going to be fun. I already know it. Oh, hey, look at that. Can you pull down on that? We didn't get very far. It's kind of middle.
You want to come to the other side and try and pull down? Or?
I don't know wherever you think might be best. I think I'm just gonna do it.
I feel like my hand's crossing over you trying to.
Okay.
You got soapy water dripping down my arm.
I don't know if a tool would help. The problem is I don't want you
Bending?
pushing up into the top of the cab.
Yeah.
All right. This is gonna be a little while. All right. We're about halfway. What an absolute nightmare this is. Holy cow. So we switched to petroleum jelly instead of soapy water. The soapy water was just drying too fast. Of course, it's making a mess, but
Everything is going to be lubricated.
yeah. But it is working a lot better. So what I'm doing is taking this little pry bar and just opening up our gap a little bit. And then from there I can kind of force this in. But it's taking forever. And of course, the lip is not perfectly smooth. It's got a little ripple here and there, so yeah. That's a fight. And so we're gonna keep trucking along. Just want to give you a little update. We're getting there. It's just, if you have an opportunity to do this, just don't. Just go ahead and paint the ceiling, call it good, and you'll be better off. Well, it's a good little bit later. That was a real pain in the neck. Petroleum jelly helped quite a bit. It made it easier to slide in versus the soapy water that kept drying quickly. Time will tell whether or not the vinyl will stick. Hopefully it'll stay up there. I feel like we used a lot of glue. I'm a little concerned with it coming down, but originally we talked about doing gluing the vinyl to like a thin board or a piece of plastic or something like that, and then gluing that up. But that would have made that gasket or retainer or whatever you want to call it that much harder to put in. So we'll see. Hopefully it stays. Hopefully it works out. It's really coming together. It looks fantastic. So we have door panels left to do, and then put the seat in, and I think that's pretty much it, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Let's go see if we can figure out these door panels.
Okay.
I think we're going to attempt to just glue this direct to the panels first. I'm gonna cut this an 1.5 inches or so wider, so it'll wrap around the back, something like that. And then hopefully it'll glue on okay. I don't know, we'll have to wait and see. It's got these like ridges in it. I don't know how well it's gonna form to that. Only one way to find out.
Do you have your scissors?
That's wrong. That's the back side, but it'll work for that one. Hope this works. I think we need to start with the front. Can you slide that over? Seems like it's actually working okay, as long as it stays down. All right.
I like the look.
Again, not going for perfection, so. I'm purposely going all the way around over the holes. I'm hoping we can use those to help hold this. Hopefully the corners will look okay. You want to spray the glue directly on your fingers too. That helps. Okay. One door panel. That looks all right, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Now all you gotta do is punch holes.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna do the other one. Poke holes, probably just that little pick tool heated up, and get the seats back in. Show you guys what it looks like. I'll finish. All right, big reveal time. Brought it outside for some natural light. Of course, it's all overcast, but whatever. I am extremely happy with how this turned out. Gauges look good, steering wheel, all that stuff looks good. Carpet turned out good. The only thing I'm less than satisfied about is the edge banding on the carpet. It is what it is. I was hoping it would look a little better, but cloth instead of like the kind of vinyl stuff might have looked better. And then Boss and I were actually talking about it. Probably could have just let the carpet alone, folded it over and sewed it, and it would have looked fine as well. The door panels look really good. It turned out pretty well. Just a little extra tie-in. Vinyl matches really good with the seats, and then of course the same stuff on the headliner. The panel across the back, of course you can't really see it very well, but that's nice and clean. What else was I going to say? Oh, I ended up bending the visors up just a little bit so they're level. That looks a lot better. Rear view mirror's handy. The cables for our vents and the vents are all working. Yeah, overall I'm very, very satisfied. We also talked we should have made a vinyl shift boot, which we might go back and do later. I did add just a quick little cup holder between the seats. Carry your beverages around, you know, in a paper bag. I'm kidding. Don't drink and drive. Pass out on the front lawn like an adult. Yeah, it all turned out really, really good. I'm very, very, very pleased with it. Of course, the outside looks awesome too. But more of the same on the passenger side. I'm very happy. Anything else to note? I'm happy with the trans tunnel. I was a little worried that the piece that we cut wasn't going to be quite long enough, but it ended up being okay. I think we got it all. I think that's everything. All in all, not too bad. The factory firewall insulation thing was a little bit of a hassle. It wasn't terrible, but it was a little bit of a hassle. Running the bolts instead of the clips made it kind of a pain. And of course, getting it around our added stuff and modified stuff on the driver's side was a bit of a pain. And then that headliner retainer was a struggle. We were sweating, shoulders hurting, and all that. It took a lot longer than we showed on camera. It was a bit of a pain. But yeah, tell me what you think. I think it looks really, really good. Nice and simple, all black, of course. I'm really hoping that we have sound deadening / heat insulation, you know, that rubberized stuff, and then the insulation on top of that, and then carpet. I really think that'll deal with our heat problem, as well as the insulation on the firewall. And then adding the sound deadening insulation stuff across the roof should help a lot too. You can't get into the doors. I thought about putting that same sound deadening stuff in the doors, but you can't get in there, and it'd be a total hassle to try to fish it down in there and put some across the outside, but we'll see how it goes. Anything you want to add?
I think we got everything.
We did put the gun rack back in.
Yeah.
For nostalgia.
The main event here.
Yeah, you gotta have a gun rack.
Not carpet.
It came in the truck, and I wanted it to stay. So hopefully we don't hit our heads on it too much. But that's pretty close to the end of this project. I do want to do one more video. There's a couple things I need to fix. I have a fueling issue that I think I know what's going on, and I think I know how to fix it. I want to play with the pedals a little bit. I'm not happy with where the clutch pedal is placed. And then we did the clear coat, but it's got a lot of speckles and it's got a lot of runs in it. I want to see if we can do something about that. At least make it a little bit better. It is patina. It is what it is. But for instance, I don't know how well this will show out in this light, but I don't think you can really see it that well. Maybe this one you can see. There's runs across there. And if you look at the top of the door, there's all these little speckles. I want to see if we can wet sand that, buff it out. basically it'll look exactly the same, just without the runs and speckles, hopefully. But all right, I think that's it for this video. It's been a ton of work, but I think a huge improvement. It's a night and day difference to what it looked like before. I mean, if you just stand back and look at it, it looks pretty awesome. Nice and clean and simple.
It's gonna absorb some heat, I feel like.
Yeah, hopefully it helps with our heat issue. So like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Email in the description below, PO box in the description below, we added that. And comments are awesome. You guys are awesome as always. Enjoy the interactions.
I sweat my eyeballs.
Sweating your eyeballs. It's humid right now, and I think it's going to start storming here anytime. But
thanks for hanging out.
Thanks for hanging out. Again, interact. We love it. We really, really do. And we will see you guys next time.